Oh, for the. No.
It's a matter of when I get closest to them.
Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna have to tell them they probably need to clean that other side too. Because they clean this side, but not that side.
Normal sprayed down this side.
Oh, okay, then we're good.
First one's for 18. Make sure your phones are on the top or on the side of it, if your family member is incarcerated, do not take pictures or videos.
All right, today is Thursday, right?
Yes.
It feels like we have been at it doesn't feel like a Friday. It feels like we've been in court for 2 weeks, even though it's just Thursday. I don't know why. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. Let me know you are here. Robert Chevalier. Robert Chevalier. Julie Clark. Well, this is not starting out very well.
I have a different docket.
See, you know what? This is the docket they set for me. No, this one is for the 21st. Let me see if I can find the 16th docket. See, it's sort of like a Monday. I have one here. Because I was like, it's going to start off bad. Nobody's here. David Newman. Thank you. In custody is Roland Davis, Ross Cuco, Albert Villarreal, Michael Ruano, Fabian Rocha, Chase Gordon, Leah McFarland, Brandon De Hoyos, John Ramos, Paul Donaldson, Isaiah Gonzalez, Neri Jimenez. Thank you. Jonathan Crail, Ignacio Rios, Juan Tehran, Raymond Elizondo, Jamarie Simmons. Thank you. In custody is Michael Montoya, Denver Stewart, Mario Tovar Hernandez, In custody is Priscilla Gonzalez, Joshua Marcelos, AJ Delgado, Jonathan Lucio, Cassandra Weiss. Is that Lana? Lana? Oh, it's Liana? Yes, thank you. Ernest Guzman is in custody. Timothy Barker. Felix Apolinar. DeAndre Jackson is in custody. Virginia Velatores. In custody is Christian Segovia, Jarvey Wines, Jose Diaz, Benicia Davis, Jonathan Boyd, Wilbert Villamel is in custody, Raymond Ruiz, custody, John Ramirez, custody, Gloria Roscoe, Christopher Garza, custody, Aaron Trevino is at 1:30. All right, anyone who came in later, your name was not called. All right, we'll start here. What's your name? Sarah Rodriguez. Do you know your case number? It should be at the top of that yellow form. What is it?
10123.
And who's your attorney? All right. Thank you. All right, who else? Yes. All right, I call the name of Fabian Rocha. Okay. All right, and sir, what's your name? Yes. All right, have a seat on the first row. All right. Caroline, Ethan, Sarah Rodriguez, all right, can we call Shannon Lott? All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. Defense, if you have a client who's in custody, let the deputy know, they will bring them out. I require that if your client is custody, even if you think you're going to get a reset, they need to be out so they can know what happened with their case today. If your client needs an interpreter, that means that I'm going to need an interpreter. So call and ask let the deputy know and the clerk know that you need an interpreter. An interpreter will be called up for you. Do not leave once that interpreter has been called, because we're short-handed with interpreters. And once they come in, we'd like them to go. Flu and everything else is running rampant. So I try to keep the well of the court as least as possible, as least congested as possible. And I try to keep around the prosecutors as least congested as possible. So grab your file, place it on the prosecutor's desk and have a seat. The prosecutor will call your client's name for you to come and confer with them. Please do not surround them with, 10 attorneys. They will call you. First will be first, last will be last. The only exception to that is if your person needs an interpreter, they will jump to the front of the line once the interpreter comes here. As you can see, it's a little bit decimated on the family violence side because 2 people are out sick. So we're waiting for someone to come down. All right, everyone, please confer. Hello.
Yes, I'm here. I know 2-3 days we were off and on, so
Okay, all right, thank you.
giving notice to the court that I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Right there.
I'm sorry, we just hear Barker.
Yeah.
The next day, she went up to sheriff. She thought maybe they would sort of investigate. But she was believe on the day before. But she was not.
Oh, no, this is.
That case has since been dismissed. Yeah. And then allegedly she had later. That's. I mean, I think technically. I don't think it's anyway, she's on her own, that kept this, that confident. I don't think she did wrong.
You know what I know? We would like to meet.
I don't do it, I want to read the prosecution. Are you guys?
Yeah, they have women.
That's why I think. Well, so there was video, so did she not? No, I didn't get any video on that, I only got on. Oh, gotcha, yeah, that's usually what happens. Oh my God. Sometimes the cops don't. So they want that on video.
Meeting workshop? It's time for booths.
Jordan's. On this Mario, I know. Over and 90%. This guy is an immigrant in United Texas. But according to what Lisa says, that this is supposed to be this. Do you know anything about it? Well, that's. Yes, Lisa, they come to you. I got that tape.
Deputy Laura, is it hot in here? Or is it me? Yeah, I'm about to, I'm gonna send out this email.
He's got an immigration law. You usually do this checks. Usually consulate helps you. But according to the attorney says that this is supposed to get this, I don't know anything about it. That's what I am training. You got it. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. You have a blessed day.
Yeah.
You guys hear me there? Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay. I know this thing. We'll have to see. Let me look at that. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, yeah, I think it might be. Well, let me get everything set up first. And then- That's good enough. Okay.
I don't know this.
They're separate.
Yeah.
The non-existent.
That. The only Jason was like that. Gotcha. So. I'll let her. Coordinating that. Working out. Today.
Do you have a file? Have you conferred?
I have conferred, that's off of PTD.
All right, you need to get a file.
Canal, GANAL. GANAL.
All right, Ms. Ganell, come forward. All right, Ms. Ganell, it's the court's understanding that the state has offered PTD in your case. Counsel, you all need to make sure that when we come back here next time, that all that paperwork has been filled out that she needs to fill out.
I will be filled out within a week and submitted.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna come back. Let me see, it's the 16th. We'll come back on March 30th.
March 30th.
Yes,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome. You get a reset form and we'll see you then. You're welcome.
This is a good one.
Especially snow. Brand new.
He called me last night and said that I believe in the sheriff in the county or something. He would be over here and send someone. But I'll be here for a little while. Everything's. Oh, I just got some.
No. I think that's. Okay, anybody? Yeah. Oh,
I don't know them.
Hello, hello.
I guess I'm gonna hunt down.
Yes, and so you may have to do closing, are you?
This, that, thank you.
Yeah.
We might be the shortest of all time.
Yay.
Okay. Well, at least it's just closing, art.
Yeah, well, no, they said they had one more witness.
Oh, they have one word?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Hunt down the.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Musical chairs for 18 years.
Yeah. That's where she.
Good morning.
She's good. Those are stuff. She reads.
Deputy Laura, I think somebody heard about the heat. And so now they've done something with the temperature.
I heard about them. Fixing that smell problem.
Hey, I did what I could. I sent out the email and people act as though they don't know about the sewage smell. Like the commissioners had to have known. I always tell people the commissioners are responsible for building maintenance. So.
Well, we can contact things. They come and walk through and leave.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, you know what? I'm a firm believer that in many cases, everything happens for a reason. And that email chain was great.
I would have been blank.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna use it for good. And honestly, I think the commissioners should start at least once every 3 months. They need to walk around the building with whoever, I mean, because you're over on your side and your side is doing great. They're having some sort of construction work going on over there where they're expanding offices. And we can't even get paint on the wall. Well, any paint that matches. Mhm. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I don't even know why you would have one painter for 3 buildings and they need to increase his salary if he's the only painter. But I would see him running around in different places. I'm like, that's a shame, Eddie. But I hope he, gets better. And then the poor jurors sitting over in those hard chairs. And I'm buying seat cushions for them. Commissioners need to come and sit in those chairs for 30 minutes and see how they feel. Mm-hmm. They need to come in court and sit in those all morning. I guess someone needs to call Aurora and see who's making a appeal. Jason, do you know who's? I'm sorry, Jason 1.0. I have Jason 1.0 and Jason 2.0.
Yeah. Oh, you told me, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Do you know who's coming down for family violence?
I
Is there
was
anyone?
just about to get on that. I was talking to Mr. Bellevue, but I'm gonna call and find out what's going on.
Awesome, thank you. Sure. Okay, and there was one that I signed, and I didn't see where they put affirmative funding or family violence window.
Was it that?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I think she only did 2 years, but I'll double check.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, Judge. Sorry, luckily the answer was answered.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Here.
Brittany, Brittany, are you gonna need,
Yeah. You carry.
okay, all right, thank you. I was like, I know it was. I was gonna ask if you needed trial division to do closing arguments. Oh, my gosh.
Yes. I'm standing firm. I'm sure you know a lot of movie references. Right?
Yes.
Against all odds.
Yeah. Okay, and since you said that, the song popped in my head from Phil Collins. Now it would be stuck there.
No, you're cool. No, it tells me that was Ruben's in Florida.
Where's he?
He's got the flu. I mean, I don't think.
I thought the judge was kidding when she said I'd have to do the close.
No, you might have to do it.
The closing is tomorrow, so maybe Michael will be.
Oh, that's wishful thinking.
Well, let's get it. I mean, don't know your laws.
So the thing is, it was Michael's case. It is what it is. We said that.
Okay. So, I mean,
I think.
or,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
See, my mind is still a steel trap.
Like,
Okay.
but
Let me, yeah.
I don't have a whole lot of knowledge because it was the powers of the Ruben. You read their case, you read our case. I mean, Michael literally has. And Ruben's awesome.
Yeah.
He came in, yes. And he's like, I don't know, head show. I wasn't feeling great, but I'm here. And I'm like, okay, cool, I appreciate it. And then yeah, he was this morning, he was like, I just can't do it today. Here we are. Yeah, I think this is that thing like all that. I think my phone book is still over there. Okay.
You ever drug test?
I have it.
Oh, you have a drug.
That's what was right there.
Oh, okay, okay. Feeling okay.
I mean, I'm here. Honestly, I don't know. Part of me, like, I kind of, I'm getting all weekend.
Top of the list.
Huh?
Top of the list.
Yeah.
I wanted.
No,
He's making.
Oh.
that's my understanding. Ruben has signed this.
I know. So That's what we were leaning towards.
Judge Member.
Yes.
Marius.
Hi.
Benicia Davis. We're asking the court for a reset, but there's something that we need to talk about. Apparently, there is a warrant out for her, she's a fugitive, due to a violation that was sent to me on the ignition interlock.
Mhm.
From the Intox assault case, which is not the case where I'm here today. That one's still pending indictment. But I wanted to inform the court that the reason for the violation is because she did not have a vehicle. When the Intox assault, the car was totaled.
Well, it sounds like you need to confer with the state.
I did, but they told me to approach you and talk to me. Because it's a.
Well, did she file I'm sorry, Caroline, could you pull the violation report on Benicia Davis?
And Judge, again, I just saw on the system that just said non-enrollment. I assumed it was for ignition interlock, but I wasn't sure. So I didn't have a violation.
No
report.
problem. We'll see what's going on with it.
It sounded like that was it though.
Okay. All right. Hi. No. I'm waiting for something to be pulled. Thank you. How's your day going?
Well, I had Uber to work today, because I had a flat tire,
Oh.
so other than that, but it's my fault. I hit a curb yesterday driving home, so. And I seem to be like dealing with it because it's cold. And I walked to the gas station this morning, and soda. I need my morning soda, so I didn't do that.
Oh, but you know what? You got exercise in. Yet there's, like Pollyanna, you got to look on what's the benefit.
Happy about it. It's okay. And I still managed to, even though I had a flat tire, did all that, walked to the gas station, had a shower, did all that good stuff. I still managed to work before most of my coworkers.
See?
Amazing. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good one. Mhm. Okay, because she didn't show. Yes. All right, so the reason why a warrant was issued is because your client didn't show
But I'm sorry.
Friday. She was supposed to be here on Friday to answer to why she didn't have an ignition interlock installed.
All I can say is I don't remember what I did. Let me check my calendar for
Okay.
last Friday.
Sure.
I don't know. I asked the court for it.
All right, and I can tell you this, I'm not allowing her to walk out of this courtroom until there's an affidavit of non-driving and an affidavit stating that she doesn't have a vehicle and she needs to be on scram. So she needs to do all of those things. So she needs to take a seat in the box if there's a warrant for her.
And then I can just start working on her affidavit.
Yes.
Prosecution.
Yes,
Can she handwrite it? I mean, at this point, because
I mean, you still need to get it notarized.
correct, I
Yeah.
just foresee a problem with that. I'm supposed to be in trial in 20 minutes. So let me start working on that.
All right. All right, Miss Benicia Davis. Where are you? Hi, you need to take a seat in the box. In the box.
No, not eyes again.
That was a very, I don't even know if she was sick. That was very definitive.
No, there's people with COVID. And then coordinated. No, I don't. It's good. Came back with my one case, and he was like, it's my case, and you don't really have to worry about it. It's funny, because you're like, you're brought out. And that's where I'm getting. No, it's all, yeah.
Anyway, so. So.
So we didn't leave a message. That was the meeting last night. He was like, "Oh, that's it." I mean, there's one of that.
Yeah.
I just said, yeah, I'll go down on the. Someone else is bringing them all back. Here's all your listening. Have lost kids and theories and tolerance.
But I haven't had.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Could I see Jonathan Boyd, David Newman, and Wilbert Villamil come forward?
Anyway.
All right, well.
Are you Jonathan Boyd? All right, your attorney is, could everyone please whisper? Your attorney is actually in another county awaiting a verdict on a jury trial. So you'll be recalled for tomorrow. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. All right, thank you.
Have a seat, I'll call you up. Nurse, who are you? Oh, that's good. Oh, let me just go.
All right, Mr. Newman. Your attorney's in another county awaiting a verdict. So we are going to come back.
Yes, ma'am. My attorney's office sent me a text saying that they're trying to get it reset.
All right, you're coming back tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Why is this plea been taking so long? Is this just a motion to
It's
revoke?
an MTR,
Mhm.
and it's not my case, I just grabbed it to come down for the MTR, but I talked to Patrick last night.
Mhm.
He was on the original case, I guess, and everything. And
All right,
so-
just one second. So everybody who's not out there whispering, when you come before the court, I'm not going to be accepting of you coming before the court when you're on the record and whispering, because nobody's whispering outside in the audience. Yes.
He said that he would like to confer, and try to work something out, and that's as much as I know about it. So he said that they had some verdicts and some different things, and he was gonna try to get a reset and then confer to have some agreement or whatever the next step was. And
All
that's
right.
as much as I know about it.
All right, thank you. So Mr. Newman, we're gonna have you come back tomorrow. Yes. So Ms. Ferguson will give, yes, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. All right, thank you.
Mr. Newman, have a seat. I'll call you up in 2 minutes.
All right, and Deputy Laura, when you all get a chance, could you bring out Mr. Villamil? Yes. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Oh, they need to be here. So they need to be here. So if y'all want to confer off docket, you can, but they need to be here on the 17th. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was the 17th.
Oh, no problem.
And then I walked out and I looked down and I thought, "Oh my God."
Yeah, no problem.
Guys and boys. David Newman. Scott Republican and science. Oh, we're looking at it. I don't know. Yeah.
Deputy Laura, is one of them Villamil? Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah. And it's still there. Yeah. I can't put it on the tell. I think then, well, Thursday.
Well, I don't know.
Which case is that? All right, who's available?
You just got on.
Good.
Good morning.
It's been a while, so
Okay.
it's great. I did, when you were available, I did just want to say hi too.
Hello.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember me or not, Andrew. Years, yeah. I've been gone for the last 4 years in the corporate world, so
Oh, hey, and you're back.
I'm back to being all man again, working directly for my clients.
You realize that the criminal side is where civil attorneys are.
It's very much true. You're right.
Hi, Josh. I know plenty of civil attorneys, but
And most of the time it's not, no. And sadly, a lot of it's on your side of the. On your side of the V, so.
well, welcome back.
Thank you, Judge.
Caroline, on that case, they're not ready yet. Raymond Elizondo. Good morning. All right, so the last time we were here, well, have you conferred with the state today?
Yes,
All right, who did you confer with?
Brittany.
All right, so the last time we were here, there were some jail calls missing. So has that been tendered? All right, is there any other discovery?
Nothing I'm aware of this time.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. I need a 2-week reset on this case for a plea deadline date. All right, Mr. Elizondo, on March 7th, we'll be back here. You need to let the court know whether or not you're going to accept the state's offer. If you choose not to accept the state's offer, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Yes,
I think that's spring break. I think I have a-
is that spring break? I think
I
that,
have a letter.
let me see. I don't,
Finally getting to it. Oh, no, it's not, you're right.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, because nobody's going to be, well, I'll be here, but nobody else will be here on spring break because I'm giving people that week off so they can spend it with their children. Okay, all right, thanks. Yes,
I have the document signed, but a notary can't take it because he does not have an ID that they took away from her while she was in custody.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to figure out what is the best solution that we can do for her.
all right, I'm gonna solve this problem. Ms. Ferguson. Can you have Fabian Ortiz zoom in on this? He's the pretrial services officer. And so we'll have them zoom in and we're gonna take care of this right now.
That was.
Sure.
Being so accommodating. Trying not to leave my mind.
It's gonna be fine.
It's Thursday.
It is Thursday, but you know, I tell everybody, it feels like we've been in court for 2 weeks straight. With no, am I right? with zero break. That's what it feels like.
Are you a Marvel?
Hmm?
Are you a Marvel fan?
Yes. Well, okay, so here's the thing. I was never a big Ant-Man fan,
Okay.
you know, from reading the comics.
Yeah.
Then so slowly as I went back through my comics and looked at more of his story, I'm like, okay, Ant-Man is nice. Maybe I need to reconsider. But I'm gonna tell you, the way they're doing the new Shazam,
Yeah.
I'm just like, no.
I'm still gonna watch it, you know, but.
Yes, I mean, once you start, you have to finish.
Of course.
It's sort of like some of the
Thing is, DC has just gone at that now. You know, what I mean,
Mhm.
they revamped the movies, they changed directors, and you know, so it's not working.
yeah.
Black Adam was a catastrophe. And
Oh my God. Well, you know what? I will tell you, the writing for Black Adam was not good.
Yep.
And I watched it. I could have walked out within 15 minutes, but it was one of those situations. You know how you start a movie and you said, oh, well, surely it'll get better. And then you've invested 30 minutes of it and you're like, surely it will get better. And then by that time, you're just like, hey,
already have
I might as well see the end of it. I'm here.
Sure.
But yeah.
My job was this way. I walked out once upon a time in holidays. I walked out of that.
Hey, I don't even know why you would, you know, I read the book, but I don't know why you would go see that. I knew.
Something different, they're good actors. I mean, Bill, Brad, what's Margot Robbie? I was like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be good.
No.
I think I got to the part where she goes to the theater and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna walk out. She's done.
Well, did you ever? I know a lot of people were going to see The English Patient. Did you ever see that? No, I didn't either. I was like, at some point, when I see how long a movie is going to be at the theater, unless it's something that I'm 100% invested in, I'm just like, I'll wait for it to come on,
Netflix.
yeah, or something else, or one of the premium channels, because I need to pause it, get up, walk around.
Come back.
Yeah.
And I'm a movie goer, like I'll go to a movie by myself, just like go relax, you know, go watch
Okay, you know the best time to go to the movies?
on a Monday. Like,
No. The best time, either if you're going there throughout the week, but if you get there in the morning, because the only people who are there in the morning are senior citizens, even when you do it on the weekend. And I always tell people they play the same movie they play in the morning that they play at night. But it's nice to have the whole theater to yourself. Usually when I go, there may be about 3 people in the entire theater.
which one do you go?
I like Sila Vista.
Okay.
It's like a small theater. It doesn't have the bells and whistles, but their customer service is awesome.
I like the recliner seat, so I go to San Francisco's,
Mhm.
the one on 281, one of the Regal Cuber.
Oh, I could do without reclinable seats. You know, I felt like I was cheating. I told the manager at the theater I used to go to, I said, I went to the other one, but their customer service is not good.
I like to drive by too, because their food is good.
Well, it's like Cheers. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
And so at the other one, everybody knows my name.
Here she comes.
Yeah, and they're like, and one time we were in the theater and it was Jet Li had a movie out. So I love martial arts. So we were watching it and all of a sudden they have some kind of alarm go off, but there was no fire, but it just went off. And so then we come back in and the movie is like 30 minutes into it. We missed a great action sequence. So I stand up and tell everybody in the theater, we need to make sure that we get another ticket to go see this movie again because we missed it. And they were so nice about it. They gave everybody in the theater that day a free ticket and free popcorn and drink.
I'll take it.
So it was awesome. So I'm just waiting. Norma, have you been able to get in touch with them? All right, can you call them because he has to go to a trial? All right, so he's going to zoom in and we're going to take care of this.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Sarah Rodriguez. Sarah Rodriguez, who's the attorney? Come forward.
I mean, if see what I'm saying.
All right, today is her plea deadline date. What's happening?
Your Honor, we're just waiting, that wasn't brought down, so they're requesting it so we can confirm the stay over time.
Oh, okay. So you all are not ready.
No, sorry. we're not.
That's okay.
That's what I was like.
And I'll forgive you for not including me in Leo Palooza. You spoiled me when we were in the district attorney's office. All right. I need to be a part of that.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Who's here on Gloria Orozca?
Here, Judge. Good morning.
All right, where is she?
She is present. She's right here.
Come forward. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You are so busy.
It's insane. I
It's
have
hard
two
to get
full-
with you.
I have two full-time jobs.
Yes.
It's nuts.
No.
At some point, maybe commissioners will make what I do full-time, but it already is.
Mhm.
But yeah, in the meantime, I have to do everything. It's
Oh, you
nuts.
need to let the commissioners know. And if
I-
people are concerned about mental health, they need to make that a full-time position.
Good thing, you know?
All right. So on this case, she was doing a PTD.
She's doing a PTD. I checked with Daniel this morning and looked in the system. We sent in the application and her letters and her employment stuff a while back. Nothing's showing up. So redundancy is efficiency, and we went ahead and sent everything back in this morning with the asterisk. And so we're hoping we can get that moving here shortly.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a reset for PTD?
I figured, I know she's probably. I didn't get it.
All right, so we'll come back on March 30th.
March 30th.
And council, if you can just make sure that they are up to date on that.
I will, if there's anything else she needs, I'll touch base with her again, but I think we've got everything in that she needs. I thought we already did, but we don't get any confirmation that they received. And that's part of the problem.
Okay.
So that's on this one. I also need to approach you on the adventure.
All right, thank you.
They're trying to hit on me a little bit.
Yes, so that's why I called. Whenever this happens.
Excuse, Judge.
Yes, you may be up after you sign the reset form.
Okay, we'll get you a reset and we'll get you out of here.
All right,
okay?
Mr. McLean, let me look at this in just 1 second. There's another attorney who needs to go for a jury
Not a
trial.
problem.
All right, the party's on Benicia Davis, and could I have Ms. Davis come up? She's in the box. Mr. Ortiz, could you unmute, please?
Yes, Judge.
Oh. All right, so Mr. Ortiz, for some reason, we can't hear you. We keep trying to work on this. I think everyone else can hear you, but I can't. So I'm going to use chat with you. Is there any objections for me chatting with Mr. Ortiz? You all will be able to see it on the screen.
Oh, yeah, no, Judge.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, we're here. Could everyone please mute? And I'm going to do it in all caps because it'll be easier for everyone to see. So are you supervising Ms. Davis? If you could answer in the chat box, please. All right, she states, and her attorney is informing me that she does not have a vehicle, so she can't get ignition interlock on it. Are you able to accept or have her file an affidavit with you because we don't have an access to a notary here? Have her meet with you today to do an affidavit of non-driving, affidavit of non-ownership of a vehicle. And are you able to put her on some mobile device? And which court are you supposed to be in?
186.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you call the 186 and let them know that we're taking up a matter with his client who has a warrant, and we'll send him over shortly. Oh, okay, thank you. So when were you able, what time can she meet with you today?
And Judge, just let me know, we can't see what's happening in the chat.
Hmm?
We can't see what's happening in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I'm writing in the chat everything that I'm saying to you guys. Sorry, usually the chat pops up. What time will you be able to see her today? Thanks for letting me know that, because usually the chat will pop up.
No, I honestly thought I was looking at it. I was like, wait a minute. Judge, are you able to hear me?
All right, so he will be able to see you today. The office hours are from 8 to 5 p.m. and he's answering my other questions.
Okay.
My other question, let me bump this out. All right, so he's telling me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're telling me that you'll be able to accept or effectuate an affidavit of non-driving and non-vehicle ownership for her? And I'm going to require that she do UAs for alcohol and other drugs weekly, and they're going to be random until she gets on the mobile device.
Yes, sir.
And I'm waiting for him to type. Deputy Laura, after I graduated from high school, they stopped requiring people to take typing.
No, I had to take time.
You took it?
160 words a minute.
Oh, hey, we need to have a type off.
Why am I? If I was told from the detective of the rest of me, that was not. But I wasn't the sheriff already.
All right, what has happened to that? They found a Ford Fusion in your name. What happened to the Ford Fusion?
It's total. My brother crashed it. It's in a tow yard.
That's the vehicle from the intoxicated judge that was supposed.
All right, she's stating that that vehicle was totaled. She's gonna have to provide proof that it's been totaled. So whoever you need to go to for that, are there any vehicles where you're residing?
Yes.
Who did those be?
My father have a vehicle.
Is that the only vehicle at your house?
Yes.
Do you have access to it?
No,
What do you mean by you don't have access to it?
I don't have access, but I don't drive this vehicle.
State, how do you want to handle that? She does have a vehicle at the residence. And this is an intoxication assault.
I mean, there, I think the important part is one, having Stratton immediately. Two, we'll defer to the board as to what to do with that. I mean, it's kind of difficult. She's saying she doesn't have access, but not really knowing what it means. It could just be that she has access to the keys and her father has them. I don't know. Without more information.
If I may, I mean, at that point, even if there wasn't a mission interlock in that vehicle, that's not gonna stop her from driving any vehicle. The repercussions are that she knows that if she drives any vehicle and she gets pulled over, she gets seen in a vehicle, it's automatically she gets taken into custody. She would be remanded without bond. So she knows the implications of her driving, so she's not gonna violate the court's orders by not getting a scrap and just driving a vehicle that's at his house. She advises the court that she doesn't have access to it, she's not gonna be driving the vehicle, and she knows the repercussions.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, are you all able to do field visits? All right, thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to recall the judge's warrant. I'm going to ask for weekly random UAs until she's on a mobile device. And I want that I want her on the mobile device as soon as possible. So if you all have one available, then she needs to be on it. And she's going to come in today to do that affidavit of non-driving and also the affidavit of non-ownership of a vehicle. And I'm going to want random field visits at the location. So the defendant is to provide an affidavit of non-driving and non-vehicle ownership today. What time do you want her at your office, Mr. Ortiz? All right, so you're going to need to be at the office. It's now 10 o'clock. You need to be there. Who did you come down here with?
My fiance.
Where's the fiance? All right, she needs to be at pretrial services before noon today. I'm sure they're taking their lunch break at noon, so she needs to be there no later than 11:30 a.m. You understand? So she'll be there by 11:30 a.m. All right, Mr. Ortiz, is there anything else that she needs? Thank you. And I'm going to want that monitor device on her as soon as possible. If for any reason that monitor device is not on by next week, Friday, let me know. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. And Norma, when are we bringing her back? Have you conferred with the state?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So give me a 30-day reset for discovery.
And Judge, just make sure the court's aware, so the intox assault still hasn't been indicted. Just make you aware of that.
Ah,
It happened on January 2nd.
thank you. Look, we're moving cases so quickly here. Ms. Ferguson, let's not do that. Set this for next week on Friday. I want to make sure that she's done everything that I'm requesting of her. So all of this needs to be done by next Friday, and you're going to come into court on Friday.
Your Honor, if I may, defense counsel's out. I will.
Oh, no, that's fine. She just needs to be here so I can know that she has everything. If she has everything and you confirm that with her pretrial services officer, just call them and have them to send me a report, and they'll say that she's in compliance. And if she's in compliance, she won't have to come in.
Okay.
But otherwise, she'll need to be here, not the 24th, because we're having that thing, right? The 23rd.
I can come in the 23rd.
All right, thank you.
On both cases, she has two cases.
What are the other, what's?
She has the knife activity.
So Judge, it's an assault public servant that just got indicted about 15 days ago, and then an intox assault.
All right. Yes, on both cases. Just put both cases at the same time. Yes. All right, that will be all. And here's the. And then you can give that back to Ferguson. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Villamil. Villamil, if you can come forward, please. All right, Mr. Villamil, we're going to recall your case. Your attorney can't be here today, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, and they'll take you back. All right, thank you. Christopher Garza. Thank you. Good morning. You too. What is happening with this case? Because I see there's a plea and then,
There was, Judge, and it was an agreed recommendation to defer his prior history. It's by orientation transgender.
so are we going forward with the plea or not?
We already did this with Judge. I was asking the court to waive the PSI and the tap because I don't believe that it will add anything.
Okay, I don't have a plea being done because nothing's written on here.
Should have been. We were Judge Ancient leaving.
Ah.
For the day, Judge, and so we went ahead and resolved it by way of a plea.
Okay.
I was trying to request the PSI and tap be waived, but Judge Ancient went here to simply anyway.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do, because I don't have anything written down. I'm just gonna take the plea because I don't even have the defendants.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't have written down how the defendant pled.
Okay.
So we'll just redo the plea. I have all the paperwork. Okay,
Okay, Judge,
is everyone okay with that?
it's fine.
Just the PSI was done on March 16th.
Okay. All right, could I have a prosecutor, please? All right, and I'll just walk you through the plea. The plea has already been taken, but there is nothing written down for the court, so we'll just go from the beginning. Court is calling 2022 CR 10363, State of Texas versus Christopher Lane Garza. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Debbie Cruz on behalf of the state.
defense?
Raymond Bill on behalf of the defense, Judge.
And are you Mr. Garza?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record, could you have him move down to the end? And we're back on the record. Mr. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you're proceeding on the indictment as presented. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishment and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with assault, family choking, strangulation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, everyone please whisper, and your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They will take in consideration 2022 CR 10362. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. No contact with Yalitza, YALITZ Salazar. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state,
Yes, Your Honor.
showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement, state is recommending that your deferred adjudication but be for a term of 3 years. Did you understand that was a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, this one state introduces state exhibit number 1 and all of its attachments.
We reviewed it. No objection, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. In states, you can continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Mr. Garza, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, just ask the court for all the agreement of the parties. My client has, he was in a very unhealthy relationship situation, recognized that. He's accepting responsibility for his role in that particular situation. He is not planning to get back in that situation whatsoever. He definitely had a lot of time self-reflection, being in jail for the last 2 months, 3 months going on now. And we do believe he'll be successful because it places him on the bird and will benefit from the program being offered.
How many children do you have?
None.
When's the last time you had employment?
Just 2 months ago,
Doing what?
I was a Lyft driver and I was working at a call center for Spectrum sales agent.
If you're released today, where will you be living?
I have an apartment waiting for me already.
Who's living with you?
No one, just for myself.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Is probation here? I can't see. Thank you. All right, the court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication, $1,500 fine, probated. Take in consideration 2022 CR 10362 and state if you can provide me with that motion. And that's case number 2022 CR 10362. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Yalitza Salazar. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. The BIPP course. Field visits 1 time per month. I'm sorry, 2 times per month for 3 months. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. In probation, if you want to count his field visits as reporting, you're more than welcome to do that. And with the 2 times per month field visits for 3 months, if after 3 months probation thinks it should be less than that, you have the court's permission to make it less than that. Regular UAs. $200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. And if he would like to pay off his community service hours, he's more than welcome to do so, but that will be at $7.25 per hour, and that will go to the food bank or some family violence center. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful on this probation? Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I completely understand.
All right, we can go off the record. It appears to the court that you are not ready to be in a relationship.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you should probably internalize and work on yourself before you even think of getting in another relationship. What I tell everybody, the best way to determine if you're ready for a relationship is to get an orchid. When you buy orchids from H-E-B or Walmart or wherever you get them, they're on sale, they're in bloom, they're beautiful, right? And then once you get them home, they stay beautiful for a couple of times, then the leaves start falling off. Orchids take a lot of patience. So when those leaves fall off of that orchid and those flowers fall off of that orchid, if you're able to get that orchid to bloom again, then you may be ready for a relationship, because it requires patience. You have to be very careful with it and kind with it. You can't move it around too much, because if you do, it won't do well. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to take up Cassandra Weiss and Juan Tehran, and then I'll take up Mr. McLean. All right, who's here on Cassandra Weiss?
I'm here on Cassandra Weiss, because
Weiss, where is she?
she's here, President Judge.
She needs to come forward. What's happening with this case?
Judge, we are going to provide the state some mitigation information. The state still needs to review some of the discovery as well. We're just asking for a short reset. It shouldn't take me very long to get that over to the state. So
All right, how much time are you asking for?
anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Weiss, could I have a 1 month reset, please,
And then we do anticipate that it'll be worked out one way or the other on that second, Judge.
on that date?
Yeah.
All right, and it'll be for disposition. All right, we'll come back on March 28th. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. If you all want to come back sooner than that, just let her know and she'll put it on the docket. All right, just get a reset form, then you're excused. Jamariah Simmons. All right, who's the attorney?
There's two. Oh, there he is.
All right. All right. What is happening with Mr. Simmons? Mr. Simmons, come up, please. Today is his plea deadline day. Oh, he's on crutches? All right, thank you. Mr. McCray, I haven't seen any more pictures of your flowers or birds.
Sunset, it's been a little out.
Okay,
But if you look on there is some early spring vibes that I've been posting.
flower beds.
Okay.
On this issue.
And I'm sure once the blue bonnets come up, you're gonna be all blue bonnets.
But interesting, I just heard from somebody that drove from the coast this week, and the blue bonnets are already blue.
Oh, wow.
So it is an early spring.
You think regardless of what the,
East, that groundhog did see a shadow and went back in there. But in Texas, we have the porcupine and the armadillo, and neither one of those saw the shadows, so we're gonna get our early spring.
okay,
It was pretty spring like this week, it's okay.
yes. All right, so what is happening with this? We're here today for a plea deadline date.
Judge, so there's two cases. I represent Mr. Simmons on the.
Everyone, please whisper.
I represent Mr. Simmons on the controlled substance allegation.
Yes.
We have a new plea bargain today. I'm still in the process of considering that and making some counter offers. So that's a new offer that came on the table just like right now. So that's where we are on the controlled substance.
All right, and is the controlled substance allegation going to be the one that controls everything or no?
Your Honor, I would like to say yes, however, it's unfortunately kind of a moving issue with the victim on our assault case.
All right. All right, so since there's been a new offer that's been tendered, this is going to be the final plea deadline date. Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this back in 2 weeks, please? All right, so we're going to come back on March 2nd. So everybody on March 2nd. Yes.
Condemnation hearing on that day.
All right.
Seconds.
I'm sorry, what hearing?
With TxDOT, Commissioner for TxDOT.
Okay. Everybody has like 3 and 4 jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. So Norman, can we call it the next day?
Then the next day I'm overseas.
Oh, well, we need to do it before then. All right, Norman, we need to do it before the 1st. You can put it at the end of this month.
How about March 1st? Gone. Well, the 27th I can do it.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we'll be back on February 27th.
Okay.
And at that time, you all need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the plea. That will be your final plea deadline date. If you choose not to accept the state's plea on that day, your plea deadline will have expired and the court will only accept plea offers with good cause. Otherwise, you have the plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, and thank you for dressing appropriately to court, even though you're on crutches. Everybody needs to take note of that. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form, then you're excused. And then Mr. McLean. Oops. Oh, okay, I guess they're checking that. Okay, all right, I'll take care of it. You're welcome. All right, who's here on one to run? All right, it's always great seeing you. I don't recognize you without being in one of the square boxes.
Yes, Your Honor, I think it's been a month since I've been in here.
It's been a while. So what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, we are going to stay on the trial docket.
Oh, well, I don't have any information in the case. So here's my first question. Do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Has an offer been tendered?
Not yet, Your Honor.
All right. So this is Juan Tehran. family violence.
Sorry to look over
Yes. All right, so everyone, here's the thing. We're trying to keep the courtroom as least congested as possible. Unless people want to go home with the flu, I would suggest that you put your file down. And when you put your file down, just have a seat. Everybody's going to go in order of appearance. The only exception to that is if someone needs an interpreter, because then the interpreter will leapfrog over everyone because there is a shortage of interpreters. All right, so family violence, this is Juan Tehran.
Yes, sir.
And she's stating she hasn't received an offer. Will you be prepared to give her an offer next setting?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Juan Tehran?
I can do March.
That'll work.
All right, and counsel, do you know if there are any CPS records or anything of that nature?
No, Your Honor, there is a child safe forensic video, but no CPS.
All right, and have you had a chance to view that?
I have an appointment.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna come back on March 23rd. Just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Will we be
you.
excused?
Yes, after you get the reset form.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Just with me and I'll be with you.
Leah McFarland.
Ready, Your Honor.
All right, what's happening with this case? Are we going forward?
No, Your Honor, I would just wanted to ask the court for a week reset as it just was appointed on this matter. There's just a few items in her mental evaluation I'd just like to be able to go over with her in private. So can we get about a week reset on this?
Sure. Ms. Ferguson, I'm gonna need a 2-week reset on Leah McFarland.
I can do March.
We'll have plenty of time to talk.
All right, we're gonna come back on March 2nd.
Sounds great.
And counsel, I'm showing that there was supposed to have been a mental health evaluation done.
There was.
Okay, awesome.
And I just want a little bit more time to discuss this.
Sure.
As to all of our options.
All right, and if you want to come back sooner than March 2nd, just let Ms. Ferguson know.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you have any questions about anything? Do you have any questions about anything? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maybe we be excused.
Yes, and oh, sorry, if you'll just have a seat, they'll let you know when they're taking you back. Who's here on Denver Stewart? Denver Stewart. All right, so the last time we were here, we're supposed to come back for discovery, CPS records, child safe records. Where are we?
Correct, Your Honor. So where we are is CPS records. It looks like there are actually no CPS case records that they were able to find. However, the child safe interview has not been uploaded yet.
All right, oh, I'm assuming they're not going to upload it.
There is a reason for it.
Yes.
I looked at the police report the last time we were here, and the witness is 17 years old. So it does not meet the confidentiality rules, so they're gonna upload it.
So the disc was kind of hidden, so I think that's why it didn't get noticed, but I will make sure it gets uploaded.
All right, thank you. And State, were you able to tender an offer?
I don't believe so. I don't believe there's been an offer in this case. Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, on this case, give me a 30-day reset. State at the next setting, you'll need to tender an offer.
Okay. March 23rd.
March when?
23rd.
All right. And counsel, other than that discovery, is there any other discovery that?
Well, until I watch the CAC video, and what I'm going through so far, I don't see anything additional other than the CAC video. But once I get the CAC video, obviously at that point, say no.
All right, thank you. And thanks for dressing appropriately for court. You even have the pocket square. All right.
If my client finds the reset, may be excused.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, who's here on Michael Runo? Or Ruano?
Denver.
All right, where's Mr. Rihanna?
He's right here, Your Honor.
All right, come forward. Are we proceeding on this today?
Not today, Your Honor, the state has asked me to get 12 taken care of first, and they're gonna run it concurrently with what happens in 12 on this DWR.
Okay, so when is 12 set?
I'm going down there right now, Judge.
All right, so if you'll have a seat, if you'll go to 12 and see when the setting's gonna be, and then I'll set it for that day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be right back.
All right, just have a seat. Jose Diaz. Hello. Yes. Always good seeing you.
Judge, how are you?
All right, how's everything going with Meredith and her daughter?
That
Is she out?
competing, she's out at least for like competing neurologists. I think they kind of flub things a little bit.
or-
Yeah, apparently her head is still not great, but she's discharged.
Okay. All right, so are both of these cases family violence cases?
They are, Judge, and technically one is set next week, but Norma's gonna override that to put it for
Together,
today
yes.
so that they can track. It's a first setting.
And have you received all the discovery?
I don't know that I have yet, Judge, and I'm still going through it so that I can confirm that. So if we get a regular reset for discovery compliance.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Jose Diaz for discovery? Ah, let me see, what date has she been giving?
I can give you the 21st.
All right, so it will come back on March 21st for discovery. And Norma, this is Jose Angel Diaz. Yes. And he has two cases, and defense counsel told me that you'll override the system so they can be both set on the same day. All right, is there anything else?
No.
All right, and Carl, I would say thanks for dressing appropriately for court, but you're always dressed appropriately for court. Have a good day. Is there anything else, Mr. Diaz? All right, thank you. Oh, thank you. God bless you too. All right, who's here on DeAndre Jackson? And I'm gonna need everyone to whisper in the box. Oh, you're there. Your client's in the center. Court is calling 2023 CR 0289, State of Texas versus DeAndre Marquise Jackson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Jorgens for the state.
Defense?
Keith King.
And are you Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I believe I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Jackson, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
A little bit, miss.
Well, what don't you understand about it?
I had a question on Dave. He said something about state jail, so will I have to go to state jail to?
No. I want you to pay attention to the questions that I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am.
And then as we go through, if there's a question that you have about whatever I'm asking you about currently, then we can address that.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the charging instrument. This is the true bill of indictment.
Yes, ma'am.
It's telling you what you're charged with. It's telling you when the offense date is, and it's telling you who the complainant or victim is. Did your attorney review that with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Meaning, like, did I accept that they're offering?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you don't want a jury trial, is that correct?
Like, what do you mean?
Do you want to go to a jury trial?
Oh, no, no.
All right, so you want the court to accept the plea that you made with the state, is that correct?
Is that what I signed for, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is.
Mr. Jackson, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am. I just have a question.
Just 1 second. Are you satisfied?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 months in the state jail facility, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have questions about that?
I have 106 days credit time, so, and I was a trustee. So, how long will I have to do at the state jail? The whole 6 months?
All right, let me explain this to you. So I usually give everybody credit for any time that they've served.
Right.
So you'll receive credit for any time that you served. Now, the fact that you're telling me you are a trustee at the Bexar County Jail,
Yes, ma'am.
that's something that the jail does. I'm not in charge of giving you 3 for 1 or 2 for 1. Yes. So what will end up happening is if I follow your agreement, when you're sentenced, the sheriff's department will show how much good time you have.
Yes, ma'am.
The only thing I'm going to be able to give you credit for is whatever flat time you've done.
Right now.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
You have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Your Honor, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Then to the offensive charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, right?
No. No.
No contest.
Stated, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. The state offers exhibit 1, the defendant's waivers and stipulation of evidence, as well as the discovery and offer for this case.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor. However, the police report seems to be rather lengthy and includes other defendants, I believe, besides.
Right.
All right, so any objection?
No objection.
All right, Mr. Jackson, showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
So, Your Honor, when I go to, yes, ma'am.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I encourage the court to follow the plea bargain beyond that.
All right, so, excuse me. You all are right behind the court reporter. She's trying to hear. That's okay. Yes,
I've asked the court to give my client credit for the time that he has served. And to have the court take into consideration as much as possible, the fact that he is a trustee in the Beck County Jail.
why are you taking vehicles that don't belong to you?
No,
Don't, here's the thing, I've read the police report. Please do not come with me with nonsense that there's some random person driving around in a Dodge Durango that you don't know, who stops and asks you for directions, and you get in, and the next thing you know, this random person that you don't know is saying, hey, let me loan you my Dodge Durango, complete stranger. So why are you doing this?
I just wasn't thinking, I just was not being stupid. Wrong place, wrong time.
No, it's not wrong place, wrong time. When people commit crimes, they are not at the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe it's an opportunity presents itself, and the person who's in the I don't understand, and mind you, people will say, Judge Boyd, that's the complainant. But then I don't understand why a complainant is going to a hotel, meeting up with a person she doesn't know, and then letting them go in their vehicle, then come back in their vehicle, then they sleep and they wake up and the person is gone. I'm assuming that was you. But how old are you?
I'm 23 now.
And where are your parents?
My parents, they're out there.
Out where?
Out like working and doing their thing. But I was just kind of really doing my own.
Why you're doing your own thing is crime. That's a question. Why is your own thing criminal activity?
I don't have no answer to that.
So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Getting my life together
How?
by changing my life around.
How?
Just want to go get a job and doing the right way.
How far did you go in school?
I finished school.
And then what did you do?
Just let my life go to the streets.
Why? Here's the thing, this is a conviction. It's a felony conviction. So now certain parts of your life are going to be limited because you decided to do something silly instead of getting a job. If you want a vehicle, get a job.
Yes, ma'am.
There are plenty of Dodge vehicles out there. And guess what? After the warranty runs off, when you get a brand new car and you buy the warranty, which I never do, but when you buy the warranty, you know when your car is going to break down? Right after that warranty expires. And then guess what? Pretty soon you're going to need another vehicle. So you just semi-ruin your life so that you could have a vehicle that doesn't belong to you instead of getting a job and working if you want that specific vehicle. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't change your ways, you're going to find yourself living in and out at the prison, and you just made your life harder than it has to be. I always tell everybody life is so simple, but people make it hard. If everybody would follow the rules and if everybody would be nice to each other, we wouldn't be here. Now, what question did you want to ask me about your sentence?
So will I have to go down to the state jail or
Possibly.
I have to do the whole 6 months?
I mean, you get credit for any time that you served. I've explained to you, I can only give you credit for the day-to-day time that you served.
Right. So I'll just, okay, I see what you're saying.
All right. Does he have any priors? Does anybody know?
He does, Judge.
All right, and what are his priors?
I believe it was a less than a gram conviction and a few other cases taken into consideration, including other unauthorized use of vehicles.
You haven't learned anything. Hopefully you've learned something now. So 6 month state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? You want to come around?
Sorry.
No, stop. What are you doing? Do you see you're crossing the line? Look down. Do you see that? All you have to do is walk around it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This way, come this way.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cisneros. Because this is a plea bargaining, oh, you need to give it to him, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, because you waive your right to appeal. You do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to the attorney. Do you understand? Good luck to you. You better do better. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself living at the prison. All right.
Thank you, though.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you. Do we have the date on Rihanna?
Your Honor, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if we can recall Rihanna for tomorrow.
And I'll, as soon as we're done playing 12, I'll come right up here, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And Norma, can you let them know, because he's in custody? And I'm assuming if he pleads down there, then we're going to do a plea up here, or are they withdrawing?
They're going to withdraw and can continue on probation in relation to what happened with 12 tomorrow.
All right, so Norma, on Rihanna, put it in there as a phantom setting, because I don't want, he's going to be taken to misdemeanor court first. And they're saying that if he pleads down there, they're just going to withdraw this. So we technically won't need him.
Right here, Your Honor.
Hi. So, okay, so on Rihanna, I'm just going to have Norma put a phantom setting in, because otherwise they'll send him here instead of misdemeanor court.
Oh, okay.
And he's telling me that it'll be withdrawn once he enters the plea.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
My big street, Your Honor.
Yes. All right, see you then. Demetric Jackson. Oh, I'm like, I have these files.
That's this for March 20th.
Yeah, it's March 27th.
And I'm gonna be out the rest of that week. So I was wondering if we could just.
All right, who's the other attorney on it?
There's two.
Yes. Who's the other attorney? No. Oh, it's just one defense attorney and two.
One and one, yes.
All right. So, Miss, you're gonna be out that entire week?
Yes, Your Honor, the rest of the week.
All right, Miss Ferguson, he says he's gonna be out on the 27th of March.
28, 29, 30, 31. 20. Yeah.
So you say you're gonna be out the 27, 28, 29, 30, and
I'm gonna
31?
be out just 29, 30, 31.
So we have it set on Monday.
Correct. I'm assuming if we go to trial.
Oh, my understanding, this is a discovery setting.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Okay, all right, keep it as is.
That's my fault.
Oh, no problem. Anyone else?
Any questions?
Do you have a file?
Not have a file.
Okay,
John,
yes. Hi, thanks for the save.
Oh,
You're just like, it's gonna fall. Hi, how's it going?
There's Stephanie Boy.
Hi, nice
This
to
is
meet
my
you.
teacher Torres, I'm mentoring her. She took over
Thomas?
Thomas' place.
Yes, he told me to tell you hi.
Okay, awesome.
He actually submitted his Archer Fellowship application last night.
Yes, he did. And I was telling him, because he's like, have you filed the given the recommendation? I'm like, yes, but I don't know where to send it. So I was able to send it. Well, I'm glad you're getting mentors.
Yeah, I'm continuing, I'm liking this, I'm teaching the young kids. Just these are things that have been on my bond list ever
Okay.
since 2011.
Mhm.
And they never found a FGA or my side or
Sure.
anything like that. So it's her first day with me today.
Oh, awesome. I hope you're having a good time.
It's been amazing so far. I'm very
Yeah, and
excited.
anytime you want to stop by the 187th and just sit in and see what's going on, you're more than welcome to.
Thank
We
you on
actually,
that.
sure, we actually have a jury trial that's starting back up at 1:30. So if you want to come and see that, you're more than welcome to.
What kind of a case is it?
It is a aggravated assault.
Oh, okay. She's already learned everything I know. 'Cause I don't remember.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just know where.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah.
John Ramirez?
Yes. So we set for an MTR today, Judge. We have an agreement to go open to the court.
All right.
He has schizophrenia, and I've called his doctor. I haven't been able to get through. I would like to bring them in as a witness. Should be able to two witnesses, him and a family member, if we get a short reset.
All right, so when will you have them?
So what defense and I talked about was possibly him being true today and then resetting for sentencing. I don't think we discussed actual dates, did we?
No, we didn't actual dates, no.
All right, so is there any question about his competency?
No, Judge.
Okay, all right, well, we can have him enter a plea of true today if that's what everyone has agreed to, and then I'll give you a reset.
Okay, so good, Judge.
All right, could I have John Ramirez, please? Court is calling 2016 CR 6340, State of Texas versus John Anthony Ramirez. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Samuel Wallace for Mr. Ramirez.
And are you Mr. Ramirez? Are you Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same John Anthony Ramirez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2016 CR 6340 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on April 10th, 2017 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, John Anthony Ramirez, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March, May, September, and December of 2021 and January of 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Sure.
State.
The state waives all the violations.
Mr. Ramirez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Judge, he's having trouble hearing.
Did you understand that by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Defense, when will you have your witnesses?
Judge, I haven't talked to them yet. This is the first time I've learned about this. I can try to get them here by Tuesday.
All right, and state, if he's able to only have his witnesses by Zoom, are you in agreement with them testifying by Zoom?
State wouldn't object, Judge.
Oh, even
All
better,
right.
Judge. Appreciate that.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can I have a reset on Mr. Ramirez? Yes. All right, 21st.
Sounds good, Judge.
All right, and if there's an issue with that, just let the court know.
Will do. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Joshua Marcelios or Marcelos? I'm going to find out how to pronounce that when they come forward. There are a lot of tattoos today. I'm always interested in what were they thinking when they got them. And you know, a lot of times people will say, oh, I got it at a friend's garage when I was 8. All right, Joshua, how do you pronounce your last name?
Marcellus.
Marcellus. All right, so we were here and you all conferred. Where are we on discovery?
We have it all, Your Honor.
Okay. Has an offer been tendered?
It has. We have an agreement.
And what's the agreement?
It's for Bexar County jail time, Your Honor. However, there is a victim who has indicated she wants to give a victim impact statement. He also has a county court case that needs to be resolved as part of the plea. So our hope was to come back maybe next week in coordination with the county courts to get this resolved and get the victim impact statement.
So when is the county court?
They told me to set this one first.
Oh, the county court did? All right, so when do we hold your complainants to give victim impact?
Your Honor, we just need to give them notice of, I don't know if they can get here today. But
No, I mean, are we able to do it next week?
yes, we should be able to.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, if I can have this set for next week, please.
The 21st, Judge.
All right, so we're gonna come back on February 21st. Just one moment, let me see something. All right, so it'll be February 21st, so the other court, you need to take care of that on Monday.
Monday's holiday. But we'll do
Oh, it is.
Yes,
Ms. Ferguson,
Well, we
move this to the 22nd.
I think the 20th is Monday.
Yeah, it is.
20th is Monday.
So I think 21st is the. Oh.
No, no, no. Put this on the 22nd. And then you need to take care of the misdemeanor case on the 21st.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right. Kelly Piddle.
Hey, Judge,
Hello.
how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing well. I figured out what I did wrong.
Oh, okay. So, oh, let me speak to you on the side. I'll just hear. So usually I'll use so they're saying, this is now.
You want me to fill out a new one or just put the cost on this one?
You can do it however you want to. And just, if you can get with them, whoever, I forget who's on the committee.
Okay.
But if you can just get with them and show them that, I'm sure we'll take care of it probably tomorrow, maybe.
Okay, cool. All right, you got it.
Maria, on top of all of your duties, you do it every day. Can you tell the news that? I'm just.
Diana, I thought we were gonna have a major accident. He was coming through. Everything started falling, and I guess he didn't. Yeah. I think you would have saw it when it would have crashed on you. Wow. All right, who's here on Gervais Wyans? Or Wyans?
He's in custody.
Oh, you need to request him.
Well, do we need him up here?
Mhm.
Okay.
Judge, I'll be resting.
Sure.
Yes. Okay, I am like. Oh, you're fine. That's kind of the theme of today, is people waiting on you. So we need an egg. Let's go out. Go out and close the door. Well, he was in the middle. I don't know.
Carol, how you come back and then it gets crazy. But you're making it happen. Who are the parties on Jonathan Lucio? Jonathan Lucio, come down, please.
Judge, we do have a
Morning,
motion on this.
Judge. Okay, thank you. Court is calling 2023 CR 0283, State of Texas versus Jonathan Lucio. Could our parties announce for the record for the state?
Jason Jorgens for the state.
Defense?
Julie calling for Mr. Lucio.
All right, and are you Mr. Lucio?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Are you Mr. Lucio?
I am, but
How do you pronounce your name?
Jonathan Edward Lucio.
Lucio, okay. I always want to know if it's a hard C or not. You can lower your hands
Oh,
if you're able to. If not, that's okay. Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lucio, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we have a motion to amend the indictment. The enhancement allegation paragraph alleges the incorrect cause number for the prior conviction.
All right, and what is the correct cause number?
The correct cause number is 663999.
66339.
999,
Okay.
yes. So we're moving to amend the indictment to reflect that prior.
All right, any objection?
No
Defense?
objection.
All right, Mr. Lucio, you understand that's a substantive change to the indictment?
the number,
Yes.
yes,
All right, knowing that, do you still wish to go forward?
just the change of number because it's misprinted, is that what you're
Yes.
saying? Yes,
All right, so do you still wish to go
that's
forward?
not changing anything, right?
No.
Okay,
Well, I mean, it's changing the actual cause number.
cause number, but that's the filing number,
Yes,
which then it still should be the same wording, just different filing number.
yes.
Then it can be looked up later. Yes, I'm fine.
All right. Then the court will grant the motion to correct the indictment to include the correct enhancement allegation number. So the number would be changed from county court cause number 856129 to county court cause number 663999 in the indictment. All right, other than that change, state, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lucy, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
She showed me where to sign it and I signed where she showed me to put my signature.
All right, and did you understand it?
Yes.
Right,
As
so you
far as
are-
what she explained, that then I would get counted for a felony charge and be released on the sentence of time served because of.
All right,
what I
so
already
here's the
have.
thing, Mr. Lucian.
Yes,
I want you to sort of pay attention to my questions because we're going to get to the part where what your agreement is. So the first thing I want to know is the document that I'm showing you, court admonishments. Did you have a chance to review that with your attorney?
yes, I did.
Did you understand it?
Yes,
And did you sign it where you were supposed to
I
sign it?
understand, yes. Could I also take a copy home? Because you know how we read something, we like to read it over. Yeah. Yes, I understand.
You understand?
Yes,
And we'll
ma'am.
make sure you get a copy.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, did you understand you're charged with evading arrest or detention second or more as a state jail felony? So the range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 180 days in the state jail facility, up to 2 years in the state jail facility, and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes,
All right, so everyone who's in the box, excuse me, people in the box. People in the box, we're on the record. So if there's no room for you to move down towards the end, I'm going to ask you all not to speak because the court reporter can't hear. So did you understand that to be the range of punishment?
yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, I don't have to follow that plea. Do you understand?
I understand.
If I give you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea won't be used against you and you can withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial?
yes, I do.
Did you understand you have a right for either you or your attorney to cross-examine or question any witnesses the state may call?
Yes,
Did you understand you have a right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand because you've entered this plea bargain agreement, you were waiving or giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to do that and enter into a plea bargain agreement today?
yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he is and was.
Mr. Lucio, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
no,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
so far.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 100 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244 of the Penal Code. They're telling me that you have all the time to satisfy that judgment. There are no applications. The state is taking in consideration 692024. Did you understand that to be the agreement?
yes, I do.
Defense, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph.
Yeah.
Did you review that?
I do, one question on the 100 days, I know it's only been since November, so I don't know. If it's,
You have 104 days and.
I have 104 days, that they're considering 104 days, because it wouldn't be November, that's only 9. I guess it does come out to about, okay. So I got 104 days, okay, then we're good. I just didn't have the proper amount of days I was in there, because if it wasn't gonna be time served, I wasn't gonna take the plea.
Oh, well, if you want a jury trial, I'll give you a jury trial.
If I could get PR bond, then I.
Your attorney would have to file a motion. And then the court will hear
Then we'll
that.
take
So
it this
if
way,
you,
because I've already done the time, so you know. We'll just do it
it's
this way.
completely up to you. I don't force anyone to enter in any type of plea agreements. If people want a jury trial, we will give you a jury trial.
But because the time has already been rendered, I would prefer to just take this plea.
So are you asking to go forward with this plea?
Yes, I am.
Are you waiving or giving up your right to a jury trial?
Yes,
showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Counselor, are there any such motions?
No.
Then to the offense is charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, the state offers exhibit one, the defendant's waivers and stipulation of evidence, as well as the discovery acknowledgement of this case.
No objection.
All right, and state, I know you all are busy, so if you want to take your seat.
Thank you.
Sure. Mr. Lucy, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Okay.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yeah.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, just that, we hope you follow the plea bargain agreement for 100 days. He's got 104. Judgment should be satisfied in this case.
All right. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 100 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. Going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Oh, and I'm sorry, the court will also take in consideration cause number 692024. Now, I'm showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yeah.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. You're gonna have to start making better decisions. Otherwise, you're gonna end up in and out of prison. Do you understand?
Of course, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
There's one thing on the theft charge, was that considered in the same agreement?
That's being discussed.
That's being dismissed. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
Who's here on Fabian Rocha?
Just have a few.
Good morning. All right, so good morning. Your hair is not dyed anymore.
No, ma'am.
So how have you been changing your life?
I've been doing well. I get to see my kids regularly now. I got a regular job. I've been cleaning since I've been on the patch 8-9 months. I think it's been. I'm still trying to pick up where I messed up previously.
Okay,
Still trying to fix things that I've wrong. I'm doing a lot better now.
all right. So are you still cleaning up crime scenes?
Yes, ma'am. I still do that. I do it on the side though, because it's all down for business.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing, cleaning up crime scenes to slow down. Maybe that means there's less crime. So, sorry. So what are you going to be doing with the rest of your life?
Definitely shouldn't be back in here.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can always come by and visit. We're always open.
I appreciate that because we've been watching you on the on YouTube for the trial prep and everything. Yeah, so we've been watching you quite a bit. So I appreciate the invitation.
Okay. All right. The state is telling me that they're withdrawing the motion. And then your deferred adjudication has been dismissed, so you're off of deferred adjudication, so don't come back anymore for any charges.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. And here's the thing, this is my advice for you. People always get excited, when they're being released from prison or being released off of probation. Make sure that you remain vigilant and remain clean and sober, because you're not only just doing it for yourself now, you're doing it for your children. All right, have a good one.
I appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, who is here on Isaiah Gonzalez? And where's Mr. Gonzalez? Come down. All right, so where are we on this case?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gonzalez was apprehended and taken into custody, and I believe Bernie is fairly new to the case, so we just got an offer today that we hadn't had in the past. We would ask the court for time to contemplate that offer, at least 30 days, and obviously we know we're on the trial docket.
All right, he's not going to get 30 days to contemplate that offer because his plea deadline date expired on August the 23rd. So how old are you?
24.
All right, so you're not like 18 or 17. So we're coming back next week. And next week, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you need more time to talk to your attorney, then got to give you time to talk to your attorney and whomever else.
Very good, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date are we coming back on Mr. Gonzalez? All right, so we're going to come back on the 21st.
Lucio?
Oh, this one's done. Who's here on Jarve Wines? All right, so where are we on this case, counsel?
Your Honor, state's asking for a 30-day reset so they can talk to the complaint.
And Judge, the complainant currently is facing an unindicted charge that there's a different fee on. I reached out to his defense attorney to see if I would have permission to speak with him on our case.
All right, so how long is that going to take?
So I just emailed the defense attorney a few minutes ago, so I'm just waiting on a response.
All right, in that case that you're waiting to speak to the complainant, is that the robbery case?
And no, it's another, well, yes, it's the robbery case, Judge.
All right, how tall are you?
6'6".
Okay, I'm just wondering. I still don't think he's the tallest. He's not. There was someone who was like 6'10", maybe 6'10", 11. Okay. I just, yeah. Now, you will find that I always have a lot of questions. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this for 30 days, and it's just to give the state a chance to talk to their complainant. Other than that, counsel, do you have all of the discovery in each of these cases?
I believe so, yes, sir.
All right, and so we need to put this on the 27th for you, is that correct?
It's fine.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, because he's already going to be here on the 27th, is that correct?
Yes, I'm going to be heard. On Jackson.
March 27th, correct?
All right, so we're going to recall you back on March 27th. We'll see how everybody else's memory is. It's March 27th.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to bring you back on March 27th. If your attorney wants to come back sooner than that, he's more than welcome to come back from that. So on March 27th, I'm going to need an acknowledgement of discovery, and the state is going to be prepared to make an offer. All right.
Correct.
Do you have any questions about anything? All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you. All right. Good luck. I'll talk to you later.
I'm already sent it by email. You should receive it in this week. It's been.
And see now, because we're not on the record, nobody's talking. All right, so on Mario Tovar, there needs to be an immigration attorney. I mean, interpreter.
He's not here, Your Honor.
Oh, he's not here?
Your Honor.
Oh, well, we don't need an interpreter then.
Right, so I've been talking to Debbie, and I don't know if the state wants.
Oh, just 1 second. So I take cases in order of appearance unless there's an immigration. So there are a couple before you. Sure, no problem. All right, Paul James Donaldson.
He's downstairs, I think. Yeah. I left this video on there. He's downstairs.
So Donaldson is downstairs? Is his attorney down there with him?
No, did I put this?
Yes, I have the sticky, but what's happening downstairs?
We never requested him.
Oh, you mean the defendant is downstairs? I thought she was saying he's downstairs in another courtroom. All right. So let's do a reset. And Deputy Laura, can you let him know his counsel is out with the flu?
Yes.
What date, Ms. Ferguson?
March 2nd.
All right, and let him know we'll be back March 2nd. So State Donaldson is being recalled for March 2nd.
Hey, Judge.
And Montanya, March 2nd. Is he in custody as well? All right, you let him know his attorney is out sick. I'm telling you, it is odd, you know, like there's whispering when we're not on the docket. I don't understand the phenomenon of that. All right, and it is Ignacio Rios on bond. Ignacio Rios, come forward. All right, your attorney is out sick with the flu. And were you late for court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, you were not. They're going to give you a reset form and then you will be back on March 2nd.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
I just go back over?
Oh, they're going to give you a reset form. Raymond Ruiz. All right, if you'll come forward and come down, Mr. Ruiz. All right, what's happening with these cases?
There's, we got an offer from the state. and it Was rejected by the.
I'm sorry, what?
We got an offer, but it's still, he doesn't want to take the offer, so.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that offer tendered today?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 2-week reset on Mr. Ruiz for a plea deadline date.
March 2nd.
All right, we're going to be back on March 2nd. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you accept the state's offer. If you choose not to accept the state's offer, your plea deadline date will have expired and the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you'll have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you, Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, and
Just, he's only hired on one case and Bill Davis is appointed on the other case.
all right, that goes for all cases. State, the offer you tendered to Mr. Ruiz, did that encompass all of the cases?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll be back on March 2nd.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Who's going to turn another charges?
Bill Davidson.
Will Davidson.
Bill Davidson. William Davidson is his name. Ms. Ferguson, can you give him the number for Mr. Bill Davidson? She'll give you his contact number so you can take that with you.
Thank you, Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, you're excused. John Henry Ramos. Hello, where's Mr. Ramos? Come down, Mr. Ramos. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Great. It's always good seeing you. You're always so in a pleasant mood. I like that.
I'm looking forward to retirement, Judge. So
so great things are happening. When are you,
this year? Okay.
when are you going to do that?
As soon as this case is over with, maybe?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm kidding. But soon as my insurance runs out.
Okay, well, I am happy for you.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, so what's happening with this case?
We both want to make contact with a witness that will be dispositive, and I think we could do it by March 2nd. How does that sound?
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall Mr. Ramos from March 2nd? All right, we'll see you back then.
I didn't know you.
Who is here? Ernest Guzman.
You call your mom.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. So what's happening with this case?
Excuse me?
What is happening with this case?
So Judge, can I get a 30-day reset? I need to finish reviewing all the discovery. I believe this is our first setting.
All right, this is possession less than a gram case. Is there
Well, there's also an assault case out of County Court 6.
all right, yes.
I would like to fire him, man. He's basically threatening me that it's a repeater up to 15 years or starting to 15 years.
Okay, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I do. And I internalize what you're saying. I don't know anything about your case. I don't know if there are priors or something that makes this a minimum of 15. I have no idea, because the only thing I know for sure that they have before me a case where you're charged with possession less than a gram. That's all I know.
That is a state jail credit.
Yes, it is. I mean, I know the range of punishment, but sometimes there are cases where there are repeaters. I don't know.
I am on parole right now as a repeater. So there's a mistake in that indictment.
Here's the thing. And I want you to understand, I have a role, your defense attorney has a role, and the state has a role. My role is to hear cases and make decisions on them. Whatever motion your attorney wants to file, your attorney can file it. If your attorney thinks the indictment is not correct, there's a motion to file for that. So
I have filed for a motion to suppress evidence and illegal arrest. Because the assault that I'm alleged of committing.
here's the thing, I don't have anything to do with your assault case because that's not before me.
Okay, I'm not signing on anything
Yeah.
for the possession
Mhm.
because the assault.
Here's the thing. I understand that this is your life, right?
Yes, it is my.
And
life.
you're trying to say a lot of things, and you want to say a lot of things to me. But I want you to listen to me just briefly, all right? And then once I tell you this, if there's something you still want to say to me, you're more than welcome to say it.
Yes.
All right, first thing, with regards to your attorney is appointed by a system called the will. And what ends up happening on the will is an attorney has to have specific qualifications to be allowed to be on the will to represent you on this state jail for felony. That's number one. Number two, the will has chosen this to be your attorney. So if you want another attorney, you'll have to hire one. That's number two. Number three, the only thing I know about this case is you're charged with possession less than a gram. You say you file motions. The person who has to file motions in your case is your attorney. Now, if your attorney, will you listen?
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Did I not say, listen to me? And then if there's something you wish to say, then I will listen. Now, your attorney is the person who's to file motions for you. If you have filed motions and your attorney wants to adopt those motions and have them heard, then the court will hear them. But that's where we are. Now, what would you like to say after I've said what I've said, and hopefully you've internalized it?
My question is, can you be trialed as a repeater twice?
Here's the thing. If you, and I'm not supposed to give you the hypothetical situations because I don't know all the facts of your case, but this is what I can tell you. If you end up going to prison and you went to prison as a repeater, the fact that you went to prison as a repeater, depending on the type of case, can be used to make you a repeater again. So, for example, let's say someone is charged with burglary of habitation and they've been to prison before. And when they go to prison for the second time, they use that burglary of a habitation to make them a repeater. And let's say they sentence them to 20 years and they go as a repeater. And then let's say they come back and they pick up a new case and it's a new felony. And let's say that's a 3rd-degree felony. Let's just say it's a drug case. And that person has already gone to prison as a repeater. The state, if they want to, they can use that repeater that they've already gone to prison for, they can use it again. So the fact that you've been sent to prison as a repeater or as a habitual, and if you pick up new charges, they can keep using that same repeater paragraph that you've already went to prison for. So your criminal history is like a credit report. And you know how your credit report, sometimes stuff comes off your report within 10 years or 15 years. In criminal cases in Texas, they don't come off your criminal history report. It's there. So that's where you are. Now, mind you, I can't speak to your case specifically because I don't know it, and I'm not going to interfere with your relationship with your attorney. You understand? All right. So Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Guzman, I'm going to give you all a 30-day reset. And after that, we'll be headed to trial if that's what anybody wants. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Guzman?
I can do March 27th.
All right, so we're going to come back on March 27th. State, on Mr. Guzman, I'm going to need you to be prepared to make an offer off docket before March 27th.
I mean, we can make an offer today.
All right, if you'll make an offer today, and March 27th then will be your plea deadline date. So the state is going to tender an offer to you, and you can make a decision on whether or not you want to accept that offer, Mr. Guzman. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, did you say we did?
Yes, but they're going to make an offer.
Okay, I'll just do it then, straight up.
All right, Mario Tobar Hernandez. And we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 7319, State of Texas versus Mario Tobar Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Debbie Cruz on behalf of the state.
Defense?
Anita Perez Garza for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, this was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:37 a.m. The defendant has not appeared in court. Defense, do you have any information on your client's whereabouts?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke to the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office, and I did confirm that he is still incarcerated there in Uvalde County. He was previously in ICE custody in Pearsall for, I don't know, differently. Yeah. And so now he is in Uvalde County, and he is awaiting 3 charges. And I did talk to Debbie about them, and I sent her the case information about them. He has an evading arrest and a possession less than a gram in a smuggling case, all out of Uvalde County, all originating out of like July 10th of 2021.
All right, so we're off the record. So everyone, we were here on December 8th and he was in ICE custody and there was no bond given to him. Then when we came back on February 2nd and it was to be recalled for February 16th for disposition. So state, what is going to end up happening with this case?
We are going to be asking for a bond forfeiture. In this case, I did speak with the district attorney in Uvalde. The defendant just got arraigned in January, so it's at the beginning of their case. I am conferring with her as far as whether they're going to TIC this one. And I did talk to her this morning about it. So that's what we're trying to work out, but it's at the early stages, Your Honor. So she is not able to tell me whether the defendant's going to actually enter a plea.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to issue a bond forfeiture for him not being present because he's in custody.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this case and you all need to make a decision on what you're going to do, because otherwise we may have to bench warrant him here for a jury trial.
Okay.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, can we reset this for 30 days?
Yes, sir. The 28th.
All right. So we're going to come back on March 28th. And see what is happening with this case.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm sorry, which county did you say it was in?
Uvalde.
Okay.
It is 4 charges, Your Honor. It's 4.
There's a 4. Okay, so it's the 38th district.
All right. Thank you.
That one.
All right. Let me see. John Ramos. Did somebody wanted to approach again on John Ramos? Because I have it for March 2nd. Albert Villarreal.
Yes, Judge.
If I may approach this briefly
Yes.
on that. We're all in agreement with the probation's recommendation. Is to have him remain in custody for his cavity valve and no, it's already done. This is a NTR.
What I'm saying, are they withdrawing the motion?
Yes, yes, I think that's the intention to withdraw the motion and to.
Yes, Your Honor, we
I'm sorry. Will remain in custody for the time and to sign its conditions.
All right. So, Mr. Villarreal, we're not on the record, but I see here that you haven't been reporting. Have you been using?
No. I'll come out clean.
Well, no, I mean, of course you're gonna come out clean. You're at the jail unless they're making drugs at the jail, which I know sometimes they do. But my concern is that you're not reporting. So if there's no reason for you not reporting, then maybe we need to go forward on the motion to revoke, and maybe you need to go to prison.
No,
Well, I mean, you say no, but according to this, you're not reporting. And we're not on the record. I'm not taking any of it as true. If we were to go on the record, I would keep an open mind, but I'm just going by what's on this motion to revoke. And probation, I take it very seriously. I'm not the person who placed you on probation, but you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so what's the reason for that?
take it for granted, but now that. I've been away from
No,
my-
how old are you?
33.
Nobody's taking probation for granted when they're looking at going to prison for 5 years, unless you're like 17 or 18 and you're just like, oh, that I understand, but your age, no. So why are you not reporting? And why are they asking for a TAP evaluation for you?
Yes, but I know, guess I'm taking it serious.
Here's the thing, you need to be honest with me. And let me just tell you why you need to be honest with me. Because I'm trying to set conditions so that you can be successful. I know your attorney wants you to be successful. Nobody here, obviously the state wants you to be successful. Otherwise they'd be asking that you just be sent to prison. So there are limited resources and limited funds. So if you're telling me that you don't have a drug problem, there's no issue with drugs, guess what's going to end up happening? You're going to go back out in the free world and you test positive for drugs. I'm not going to be wanting to hear that. So why are they asking for a TAP evaluation and why have you not been reporting?
Yes. I really don't have a real, I'm not gonna lie to you, Yes.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
I didn't have alcohol anonymous.
All right, so why are we pretending like problems don't exist? Let me just tell you, everybody who has a motion to revoke file, obviously there's a problem. Because otherwise they wouldn't have a motion to revoke. Everybody who's on probation, obviously they have a problem because they wouldn't be on probation. Everybody who's going to prison, obviously they have a problem because they wouldn't be going to prison. So for probation to have filed a motion to revoke against you, that's telling me there's a problem. And what I can see in the motion to revoke, the problem is you're not reporting and you are an adult, you're in your 30s, and you're pretending like you're not taking this seriously. I mean, if you want to, today only, if you want to, I'll send you to prison for 3 years. If that's what you want.
Give me one more chance on probation, and if I fail, then, I mean.
Well, I mean, do you want to talk to your attorney about that? Do you want to talk to him about that?
I just go one more try, you know what I mean?
Because I mean, otherwise what's going to end up happening? They're asked that the motion to be withdrawn and that you be given a TAP evaluation in custody. I will allow him to have the TAP evaluation in custody, but it seems like he's going to say he doesn't have a problem and TAP is going to say there's no problem.
I think that there may be some indicators for at least alcohol issues, Your Honor.
All right, this is what I'm going to want. I'm going to want TAP evaluation while in custody. Follow the TAP recommendations. If the TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. and the previous judge didn't put this in here. I'm gonna want proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. All right,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome.
May we be excused?
Yes, Mr. Villarreal, don't come back here. I'm putting a notation on this that you said you don't have a drug problem. And I'm also putting a notation down that I've addressed the not reporting with you. All right.
Yes.
Normally there's somebody named Kabar that's on Zoom.
That's for parties.
Okay. All right, could I see the file on that?
All right, Judge, I was in another court.
Oh, no problem.
My client's out of Oklahoma City and he's having some health issues, Your Honor, in the heart, and that's what I'm asked to be on Zoom today.
All right, he's here. We won't be able to hear him, though. We'll have to do it by typing. So what's happening with this case?
I just got here. I'm going to confer with the state, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll approach afterwards.
All right, Mr. Kabar, are you able to hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can. They are frozen, but go ahead and confer
I'll
with
send
us.
a text.
All right.
I can hear you.
Thank you. We're having problems on our end hearing you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in a waiting room. Your attorney is going to confer with the state and then we'll call you back into the main room, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. I'm just waiting for the prosecutor.
Sure. And we'll need court tech to come back and figure out why we can't hear people. I think it has something to do with that wire that they say doesn't belong anywhere. There's a wire underneath this bench. It's not plugged in to anything. It's just floating. Yes. Okay, this one, he said he was on Kelly's, he said he was gonna call them.
Okay.
Okay. No, just call them. If you can call the voucher committee, although Kelly People told me he was gonna call the voucher committee and tell them about the extra case.
Okay, so do we send it back to you?
Call Kelly and see, because otherwise I know it'd take a little extra time if we do it that way. And I think he wants his money.
We can help her contact him and we can hold on to her. Yes.
You can give him the original.
Okay, I was just thinking of it.
So I don't know. Okay, so that's, and then.
Get started going with that.
Who's here? I'm Brandon DeHoyes.
Love this boy.
So are we proceeding?
Judge, I believe that we have an agreement that the state is going to ask you to deny the motion and.
So he's pleading?
Yes, Your Honor, to condition number 2, and we're gonna alter and amend the conditions for the defendant to attend the setup.
All right, court is calling 2020 CR 7006, State of Texas versus Brandon DeHoyes. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Debbie, please look at the state.
defense?
Kathy Compton for Mr. DeHoyes.
And are you Mr. DeHoyes?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brandon DeHoyes who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 7006 for the offense of,
This is a Mandel.
yeah, it's supposed to be possession with intent to deliver
Correct.
a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4,200 grams on November 20th, 2020 for a period of 5 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
State of legislature defendant, on or about the first day of June 2022 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Brandon DeHoyes did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely cocaine, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
Your Honor, we will also waive all the rest of the allegations alleged in the motion to indicate.
All right, any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. At this time, the state's asking that the court deny the motion to revoke and alter and amend the deferred adjudication to include status.
All right, is that the agreement?
Status relapse, yes, was
Are
my
you-
understanding. That was the recommendation from probation.
Are you asking the court to follow this agreement? All right, you're whispering.
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's the issue that the court is having. I sent you to felony drug court. You accepted in felony drug court. What happened? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Brandon Doris.
All right, so what happened in felony drug court?
I was just having trouble getting to the UA and appointment because I had a night shift job and I would get off at 4 a.m. and trying to wake up to make the meetings and UAs, like catching the bus and all that. I just had trouble making.
That's no excuse. So does felony drug court want him back? Does anyone know?
I don't have that information, Your Honor.
I had my parents call and they said they kicked me out. I'd been
Oh,
kicked
yeah,
out. So
because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So I'm gonna see if they'll accept you back. If they will accept you back, that's where you're going. And if you get kicked out, then you're looking at going to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
And it seems that you're still using drugs. At some point, guess what? There's nothing that anybody can do to help you. If you decide that you want to use drugs and you're not even going to try, then there's nothing that anyone can do to help you. And sometimes people got to go to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
And Judge, just to clarify for my own benefit, so he would do the SADA relapse and then he would be in drug court, or he would do
Oh,
drug
no,
court?
I would send him
rather
straight to
than-
drug court, and drug
Okay.
court would make a decision on what they want to do.
Beautiful.
Could you mute us, please? All right, so here's the thing. If they accept you back, great. But what I can tell you, at some point in time, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to prison,
Yes,
more
ma'am.
likely than not. I always have to put a tagline, more likely than not,
I understand.
because if you want to continue to use cocaine, there's nothing that we can do to help you. It's like somebody who is saying they're trying to lose weight. At some point, you got to stop eating ice cream. And if you still want to eat ice cream every day, and we're giving you the tools so you can't eat ice cream every day, and you're just making choices, and we're just wasting money on you.
Yes, ma'am.
So just have a seat and we're going to see what they say.
Judge,
Yes.
so not to make my problems your problems, but I have curbside for HEB that I need to go pick up, that
Okay.
I'm already, so I didn't know if I could go run, do that real quick and come back. or
Okay,
if you
where's
wanna
your
recall till
curbside
tomorrow.
pickup?
Almost.
Oh, we can recall this for tomorrow.
Perfect. I'll be here in the morning and then we can get it sorted out.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right, yeah, pick up your curbside. I mean, especially if it's ice cream. Is it ice cream?
No, it's not. I thought I'd be done super fast. I went to the 399.
See, you should have came here first.
I know.
Okay, and that's bad, because then it's like people are coming to 187 last because we're always here.
Well, no, I like to take the best for last.
Yeah.
Cause I know that I can get stuff done.
All right, so we're gonna come back on De Hoyos tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes. Priscilla Gonzalez. All right, what's happening with this case?
What did a sanity evaluation, and my understanding from reading everybody's notes, I'm standing in for Christine McDonald. Is that you had wanted an update on the status of the sanity evaluation?
Yes.
And on the 9th, it was ordered.
Okay, so it hasn't been done yet.
It has not been completed yet.
All right, Ms. Burrs, can you reset this for 30 days, please?
I could do
We'll come back on April 3rd. If it's completed before then, just request that it comes back.
Moves
before then.
faster.
Yes,
Very good. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
yes. All right, so why is there a request to move Christian Segovia for tomorrow? Okay, is he in custody? All right, Christian Segovia, Deputy Laura, can you let him know we're bringing back tomorrow? And then we're gonna recess at 12:15. Timothy Barker? Yes, where's your client? Ah, thank you. All right, what's happening with this case? Okay. Mr. Barker, they're still waiting to receive an offer. So just give us a moment. Ms. Ferguson, on Barker, reset this for 30 days, please.
Yes, ma'am, I can do the 28th.
All right, we're gonna come back on March 28th. At that time, the state, they're gonna make an offer today, but that will be your plea deadline date, okay, Mr. Barker? Thumbs up if you hear me. Okay. All right, thank you. And your attorney will be in contact with you. No, he's by Zoom. All right, you can sign off, Mr. Barker. Thank you. Who's here on Brandon? Oh, that's been taken care of for tomorrow. Who's here on Ernest Guzman? Court is calling 2023 CR 0286, State of Texas versus Ernest Guzman. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Jorgens for the state.
Defense. And are you Mr. Guzman? Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Guzman, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we are waiving the repeat offender allegations.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Guzman, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Guzman, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is waiving this repeat enhancement allegation. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 6 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications, and they're taking into consideration 70065. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes.
State?
Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No motion.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. The state offers exhibit 1, the defendant's waiver to stipulation of evidence, as well as the discovery acknowledgement for this case.
Any
No
objections?
objection.
Mr. Guzman, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, I understand.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yeah, sure.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility, take in consideration county court cause number 700065 and give you credit for any time served. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to the attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record, Mr. Guzman. I read that police report in its entirety. You're going to have to make some changes. You don't want to be the person who's the oldest person at the prison or at state jail facility. If you have drug or alcohol problems, there are free places that you can go to. You're going to have to get your life in order. How old are you?
43.
All right, you're 43. You're in the same boat that I'm in. I'm in the twilight of my life. People say you're not in the twilight of your life, but unless I expect to live to be 160, I'm in the twilight of my life. You're getting to that point where you're in the twilight of your life, or as people call it, the winter time of your life. So don't waste any more years or waste any more time or harm your body any more than you've already harmed it, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
I bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Who's here on Chase Gordon?
For President Judge.
All right, after we do Trace Gordon, we're gonna do Neri Jimenez, and then the court is recessing. Court is calling 2020 CR 2543, State of Texas versus Chase Gordon. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Debbie Cruz, on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
For the defense?
Cabanas, we're defendant Chase Gordon.
All right, and are you Mr. Gordon?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Chase Gordon who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 2543 for the offense of robbery on December 15th, 2021 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Your Honor, at this time, the state elections that in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Chase Gordon, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, and September 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
Your Honor, at this time, the state asks if the court.
Are you waiving the other allegations?
We are waiving the rest of the allegations. I
All right.
apologize, Your Honor.
No
Yes.
problem. Any objection?
No objection from defense counsel.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The state would ask the court to deny the motion to adjudicate and to alter and amend the deferred adjudication to include safety, special needs, Your Honor.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, are you asking me to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what are your drug issues?
I don't have any drug issues. I stopped reporting to probation because I missed one appointment.
Well, safety is not going to accept him. If he's saying he doesn't have any drug issues, has a tap been done where probation has a tap been done on Mr. Chase Gordon? Because he's saying he doesn't have drug problems. Defense, do you know if he has drug issues?
Judge, based on what I've seen from the court summary, but
All right, if I send you out into the world without drug treatment and you end up testing positive for drugs, then you won't be coming back before me saying that I have a drug problem. You understand?
I understand.
Because I like to address issues and hopefully people are successful. And if you tell me you have an issue and I don't address it, that's on me. But if we're trying to address issues that you may have and you're being dishonest about it, then that's on you.
Understandable.
So do you have a drug problem?
No, man.
Why did you miss reporting?
To be honest, I just missed one appointment, was busy with life. And was just afraid to take accountability and call a probation officer and let her know the situation going on at home. So,
All right, so they're asking for DDRF on this, his original tap. So have him evaluated for the mid caseload. So I'll deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions to include the MIC. And that's to be, that evaluation is to happen while he's in custody. And then once he's released, I'm going to want the UA hotline for 2 months. And I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month for 3 months. And if he's successful and probation decides that they can only see him for field visits once a month, then I'll let probation make that call. And I'm writing in here that you say that you don't have an alcohol problem or drug problem. You understand?
yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else?
Nothing from the defense counsel.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right. Off the record, from here on out, you need every decision you make in your life while you're on probation, you need to ask yourself, is this something that can result in me going to prison for up to 20 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Probation will go over those conditions with you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. What's the file up here? I don't have. No. Okay.
Oh, it exists.
All right, who's here on Felix Apolinar? Felix Apolinar. All right, he'll come back tomorrow. Who's here on Neri Jimenez? Court is calling 2022 CR 10020, State of Texas versus Neri Philip Jimenez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
That was on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Jason Wolf for defense.
And are you Mr. Jimenez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled acknowledgement of discovery defense. Did you review that document? Sorry, have you reviewed all the discovery? I'm distracted by what's going on here. Excuse me, sir. Sir, just sign that and move on. It's a reset form. You need to be here tomorrow, okay? Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
We have, and I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign it? Showing you the true bill of indictment. Have you reviewed that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your charge of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a 3rd degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the court would grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do so.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
In my opinion, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jimenez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine and state recommends deferred. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours community service restitution, and the drug education course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, at this time, the state introduces state's exhibit number 1 and all of its attachments.
I've reviewed those with my client, Your Honor. We have no objections.
Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, just that he's going to knock all of this out in due time.
Okay, so what happened with the case that's out of Georgia?
Judge, actually, that was a warrant for somebody else. The state and I went back and forth on that. It's not him. It's a different person. However, we think this is the best result for our class, so we're going to move forward.
All right, and Mr. Jimenez, who is Sabrina Sandoval?
That's my girlfriend.
Are you guys still together?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am. She just recently had a miscarriage.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. And so you have no children?
Yes, I have one with another.
All right, do you have does Miss Sandoval have any children?
Yes, she has 3 of them, 3 girls.
Do they live with her?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
They're 10, 8, and 5.
And how old is your other child?
My son is 5.
Are you employed?
Currently, I just lost my job at Toyota because I had to come to court, so they like have no sympathy on people going to court. If it's not jury duty, then they don't pretty much. But I have another job interview here next week, so.
All right. And if you were drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'm clean.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you. And probationist is Neri Jimenez. Sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's to be regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month until further notice. And the field visits can count as reporting if probation wants to have it that way. 200 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. I'm going to want parenting classes with Triple P. Once those parenting classes are completed, the remaining hours will be waived. There's going to be the drug education course. And regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Probation, is there anything else that's needed?
No.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right,
Judge, thank you for your consideration on the community service.
you're welcome. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did I put this in the wrong file? I did. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who's here on Sarah Rodriguez? Court is calling 2022 CR 10123, State of Texas versus Sarah Rodriguez. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state,
Debbie Cruz on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Kim Gonzalez.
And are you Ms. Rodriguez? Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. That goes in there. All right, Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? You're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with offense of injury to the elderly bodily injury? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call them and right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the fine is to be $400. The state recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution to Delia Games. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
That's correct.
state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be 200 hours community service restitution, no contact with Delilah, Games, and anger management. Did you understand that those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
At this time, the state introduces state's exhibit number 1 and all of its attachments, Your Honor. No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
If that's okay with the court judge, yes, we'd like to proceed with sentencing.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your clients?
Yes, Judge, Ms. Rodriguez is here accepting responsibility. She is a good kid. She's young. She has not been in trouble before. She understands that there was just too much consumption that night. She is in school at San Antonio College. She works for HEB, and she is really ready just to move on, Judge, just with this binder. She has had no contact with any of the individuals mentioned in the police report since then. And so she's on the right path, Judge.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work for HEB. I work in a couple different departments there.
Doing what?
I work for e-commerce. I work for healthy living and shelfage.
Okay. As a side note, I was in HEB one time. I was on the pickle aisle. Someone took a jar of bread and butter pickles. They opened it, they ate one, and they put it back on the shelf. I personally don't like bread and butter pickles. Now, I did tell the store manager, this person just pulled this off the shelf and put it back. Whether they removed it or not, I don't know. But that's why everyone should always make sure that when you open it, the seal pops. I don't know why they stopped putting the plastic around it, but I'm just throwing that out there because it happened at HEB.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what, and now everybody's going to check their jar pickles or either get rid of them. All right, the court is going to sentence you to a $400 fine that will be probated. 2 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Delilah Gamas or Richard Ortiz. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. If you need some sort of outpatient treatment or more support than that, just let probation know. 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get it, but if you have it and you turn it in, 40 of those hours will be waived. The remaining hours will be waived if you provide proof that you're in school. And for the court, that means full time. So you need to be taking at least 9 hours a semester. And there will be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, and regular UAs and anger management. Is there anything else that you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else she needs? Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, young people, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, okay, I'm thinking I'm speaking to an 18-year-old. All right, you should know better.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Things that we do have consequences, and they have consequences long-term for our abilities to obtain employment, some of it for our abilities to vote. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to start making better choices. You need to make better choices on who you choose as a mate or soulmate or somebody you're going to marry, a boyfriend or whatever. You need to make better choices on that. And guess what? Don't go to somebody else's home and be intoxicated. Be intoxicated at your own home if you're going to be intoxicated. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. And thanks for dressing appropriately for court. All right, the court, we're going on recess, everyone. We have jury trial starts at 1:30 and I need to take a break. And court reporter,